This year, over 10 million people will be diagnosed with some form of cancer. Many of them will be young adults in the prime of their lives. All of them will have to make a choice. They can accept their fate, or they can prepare to live.
My name is Esther Balaj, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 30 years old, and it was stage 3 breast cancer. Actually, the first thing I did was I went to Los Angeles with my girlfriend, and we partied for 2 entire days. I love snowboarding so much, and one of the things when I was sick, every time I was at home and alone and miserable, I thought about that. Once I'm fine, then I'm going to go out and ski or snowboard, and it made me think like, I can't give up, I have to go. And so the next season after I was sick, I did it, and I was up and I've been snowboarding ever since.
I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia. You know, before I was diagnosed, I was a big mountain biker. I was rock climbing, I was surfing, I was running. You know, I was doing everything and anything that was to be done. I was very athletic and very fit. For me, it's always been a very personal struggle and a personal battle, and yet I can't deny that without the help and support and good vibes and good energy of the hundreds of people that are out there that have been sending those kind of good things my way, that it is a shared victory, that I'm well now.
My name's Kirk Souter. I'm 42 now. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with synovial sarcoma. It's a rare kind of cancer and a very aggressive one. I've just celebrated my 22nd year of being cancer-free.
My name is Sheldon Plinovich. I had acute myelogenous leukemia, and I was diagnosed when I was 31 years old. I've been kite surfing for about 4 years, and I'm completely addicted to it. I've been in remission for about 1 year and 5 months.
Well, the first thing I say is, listen, you know, not only did I have what you have, I had that in a metastatic way. I had it spread to my lungs and so on, and I'm still here, you know, 25 years later.
Things are going to get better. I would say it sounds terrible now, but things are going to get better.
It'll get better. It's just temporary, and you just go on.
To people who aren't interested in finding out more about their disease, I would say, one, you're taking a big risk. You're putting all your trust into healthcare providers, and if you're going to do that, make sure that you really know a lot about your doctor and you really trust that person.
The one thing I would say is take control. Be your own expert.
Learn how to read the statistics, learn what the clinical trials are, what's going on and what's working and what's not.
I read everything, I talked to everyone, I researched everywhere and everything I could.
Don't put it all into the doctor's hands. Take it yourself and use them as tools, but know that you are in the end the person who's going to heal you, and you have to take the actions you have to take. There's no reason to be intimidated. You're the boss.
If you ask my doctors what I was like or to describe me, they would say that I was one of the worst patients that they ever had.
You have to be the squeaky wheel. I mean, demand what you want. You know, demand to know what the latest thing that's going on. Demand to know why a doctor is doing this.
And I continually was going to my doctors with a sheet of printouts and saying, yeah, I know all about that. What about this? What about that? What can you tell me about that? And I think doctors kind of thought it was funny, because sometimes I would ask them questions that they didn't know the answer to, and it gave them something to go find out. And I think probably they just thought it was funny that somebody was taking that much of an interest in their own disease.
I would visualize my body fighting this, alien thing.
Just think about it as you got the flu, and once you deal with it and all your symptoms, your sickness will take the course it takes, and there'll be harder days and there'll be easier days, and just deal with it. Life will go on.
I didn't do it alone. There's so many people, friends, family, people I don't even know that have just really rallied.
And then having a goal, when I get well, this is what I'm going to do.
When I did search for young women like me, I couldn't find anything.
A young person with cancer was a rarity, and a young person with a rare form of cancer with poor survival statistics was even rarer.
When I was diagnosed, there wasn't anything like that at all.
And I just felt pretty isolated as a 31-year-old with leukemia.
The reason it's so important to have a project like this for young adults, because when you are diagnosed at this age and you start looking for help, and there isn't really anything. There's no website, you don't know what to do.
I guess I wish that I had access to other people my age with a similar diagnosis, and it didn't even have to be leukemia. It could be just another kind of cancer.
When I was sick, had I known about something like this, it would have been so helpful to watch this and see what other people at my age did and what was possible to do, even though I could see someone now being able to snowboard or kite surf or do some extreme sport. But at least it would be such a big reassurance that it is possible to do anything that you want, and doesn't mean the end of your life.
At the same time that cancer was one of the biggest, tragedies in my life, in a sense, it was also definitely kind of the biggest gift in that I felt like I had been living the rest of my life before that in kind of a coma.
We as young people with cancer, we get this life lesson early on, and we sort of get put on the fast track to hopefully ultimately it will be some kind of enlightenment, but we get on that fast track, and in a lot of ways that is a positive experience.
One of the benefits of having cancer, and there actually are some, is that it's brought me closer to my family. I think the dialogue and the love for my parents has definitely grown throughout the last 5 years, and it's a treat.
To me, the gift that I received through dealing with cancer is the whole aspects of failure and success are kind of fictitious to me. It's you try something and you try and get as much out of it and learn and evolve as you can. When you have cancer and a doctor walks into your room and says you've got 18 months to live, everything else just seems so silly that we worry about.
It forces you to say, you've got to be happy right now with what you have.
I think it's calmed me down quite a lot in terms of just how I think about life and how I approach things.
You feel different, and you are different, but it doesn't make you less desirable or less attractive. In fact, in a lot of ways, and to a lot of people, it will make you more attractive.
I'm a lot less preoccupied with me, and I've got more room for other people and what they have to say and their opinions and what they're into.
I was preparing to die instead of preparing to live, and regardless of my disease, regardless of anything, the point is that you get up every morning and you prepare to live. You visualize your future. You see where you're going to be 5 years down the line.
Before we can help save the lives of young adults dealing with cancer, we need you to help us.
Your generous participation will provide young adults with these tools for survival. A DVD that will allow them to see themselves as a victor and not a victim. A website with a global peer-to-peer network that will enable the newly diagnosed to instantly access the knowledge of survivors, the hope needed to sustain them in their journey of survivorship. In other words, your participation today will directly result in young lives being saved.
Now the newly diagnosed have two choices. They can accept their fate, or they can prepare to live. With your help, they will.